Hi everyone, today I'm covering Anbernic's RG505. The RG505 is Anbernic's latest Android handheld, featuring the same Unisoc Tiger T618 processor that's seen in the PowerKiddy X18S and the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus. The RG505 also has the Vita's 4.95-inch OLED panel alongside a touchscreen, 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal memory, Hall joysticks, a gyroscope sensor, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5.0. It's available in 3 colours, yellow, turquoise and this retro grey, which I think looks absolutely great. Straight out of the box, it's got a pleasant design. It's a well-made handheld featuring a strong plastic design that's long but thinner and slightly taller than I originally expected, but it sits pretty well in my long hands. It did take me a little bit just to get used to the button placement, as we've got the power button at the bottom, volume buttons on the left side, and the back and Anbernic home buttons on the right side of the handheld. This leaves the top surprisingly bare, with only the headphone jack and single USB-C port sitting alongside the shoulder buttons. This gives quite a clean look overall, but did take me just a little bit of getting used to, as nothing was where my muscle memory thought it was going to be. And just took me a couple of days to not hit the Anbernic home button as the power button, for example. But once you're used to it, it's not an issue. The controls of the RG505 turned out to be quite the pleasant surprise for me. The initial coverage of the handheld pointed out some rough edges, particularly around the Hall joysticks, but there's been a couple of software updates since, which seem to have smoothed things out quite a bit, as I haven't really experienced too many problems at all. Although I purposely avoid streaming on these candy bar handhelds, as I don't really find the controls comfortable for modern gaming. For retro gaming though, the RG505 does really great, with a very comfortable sitting on the D-pad and very responsive front buttons. The Vita OLED panel is of course starting to show its age at the end of 2022, but it's still a fantastic panel, with PSP, 3DS and Gamecube games especially really making the most of the vibrant colours available. The size of the handheld may be a bit awkward for some due to it being slightly taller than average while being very thin, but I personally found it very comfortable. The RG505 comes with Android 12 and you're greeted with a welcome screen the moment you turn it on, where you pick your language and wait a few minutes for the initial setup to complete. This seems to install loads of apps in the background. It would have been nice to be able to choose these from a list and have a bit more control overall over the setup, but mine did come with the Google Play Store pre-installed at least, so I was able to spend a couple of hours setting up everything up to my preference. Android 12 as an OS is pretty snappy and allows for all sorts of customizations of course. That said, with the Anbernic front end that we've featured on other videos and a quick button press into it, the RG505 does suit for a pick up and play Android handheld, but for me it did take a couple of hours to tweak ultimately everything to my personal preferences, as I found out the out of the box experience which I featured here to be quite messy personally. That said though, almost everything is pre-set up and configured, so all the gameplay footage I'll cut to shortly was captured using these pre-configured settings to try and represent the out of the box experience. I'll cut to some gameplay now and just summarise it up at the end.
Here we go.
So overall, I find a lot to like about the Anbernic RG505. The retro grey colour choice looks absolutely great. The controls suit retro gaming, and the screen and a few of the bonus features are all really nice. It might not top my favourite Anbernic handheld of 2022. I'd say the RG353M tops that list for me, but it's still right up there, so I think it's hard not to find something to like for the RG505 overall. That's it for now though. Thanks so much for watching.